And now back to the tragedy in Uvalde. It is a small town, and all day yesterday, we talked to so many people who knew the victims, and we want to make sure you hear their stories.
I got really scared, and I didn't know who was hurt or dead.
That is Aurelia Santos, who says she knew every single one of her classmates who died. Her dad and stepmom say that she was supposed to be in that class, but she was on the other side of the campus when it happened.
I feel guilty for any ounce of happiness because so many parents went to bed with empty beds last night.
A lot of ex-coworkers,
people
a lot
we've
of
grown
friends,
up with,
kids lost, like people that we know.
babies we've watched grow up.
Yeah.
And now too many of them will never grow up. You're looking at some photos right here.
Could this mass shooting have been prevented? That is the question that we ask after any one of these tragedies, and that is what law enforcement is trying to determine after this one. In the last 24 hours, they have released new information about the gunman and his moves leading up to his arrival at Robb Elementary in Uvalde, and that is where Adriana de Alba joins us this morning. This community right now, Adriana, still far more questions than answers.
Mark, absolutely. People want to know what exactly led up to this. And as this community tries to heal, people want to know why this happened. And now investigators are starting to trace the shooter's final steps. Authorities say the shooter bought 2 AR-style rifles on 2 separate days. The first on May 17th, one day after his 18th birthday. The other 3 days later. They say he bought them legally from a local sporting goods store, along with hundreds of bullets. Governor Abbott says the gunman had no known history of mental health problems and that law enforcement had no warning. ABC News, though, spoke with a classmate of the shooter who says the gunman stalked and even threatened to kill him after he ended their friendship.
In the back of your head, did you think, well, if there was anybody at school who would have done that, it's this kid?
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
So there were warning signs?
A little bit.
And the shooter was eventually taken down by 4 Border Patrol agents. I want to get this right, so I'm going to glance down at my notes a little bit. We know that one of the agents held a shield as they pushed toward the incoming fire, and we know that multiple agents fired back. Eventually, one of them killed him.
Adriana, the governor did not said that the shooter did not have a mental health history that we know of yet, but what about any other potential warning signs?
Well, it's all starting to come out, Mark, little by little. So right now, investigators are combing through the shooter's social media. They're starting to find things. They're seeing things like posts that he made, posts of abusing animals. He posted guns as well. And ABC News also reports he sent private messages on Facebook just minutes before the shooting. The governor also mentioned this during his update yesterday. The gunman had sent messages saying, "I'm going to shoot my grandmother, I shot my grandmother, and I'm going to shoot an elementary school." A spokesperson for Meta confirms they were private one-to-one text messages that were discovered after the shooting, and ABC News saying that those messages are going to play a key role. They're a part of the investigation now. Mark?
Boy, those are just the chilling messages. Thank you, Adriana, coming to us live from Uvalde this morning.
Well, the first few minutes in an active shooter situation are the most crucial. While a lot of school districts and workplaces have active shooter training in place, there are tools to better prepare you and your kids. Brittany Ford explains.
A lot of these suspects that plan these events out, they're basically expecting people just to sit there and become a target.
Pat Straker is a recently retired HPD officer with over 35 years of service. He's also an active shooter instructor with an agency called ALERT.
ALERT is an acronym which means Advanced Law Enforcement Rapid Response Training.
Straker says in an active shooter situation, time is on no one's side.
Typically, most active shooter events are over in about 4 to 6 minutes.
Which is why it's important to act quickly and have a plan. Straker says their civilian training is focused on a 3-phase approach: run, hide, fight.
Avoid the situation, great, run away from it. If you can hide from it, you're not able to get away from this possible attacker, then maybe you're in a position inside of a room or a classroom, somewhere that you can barricade the doors.
He says most attackers don't expect victims to fight back.
Be prepared to fight and defend yourself. The lead of the teacher, that faculty member in that school, that office worker, to step up.
A conversation he says may be hard to have with a child.
Tough thing that you have to explain to your children that possibly, in this day and age, an evil event like this could occur.
But are tools that could save their life.
And we know a lot of you want to help the people of Uvalde. We've seen so many requests. You can make a Robb Elementary Memorial Fund donation at any of the First State Bank branch locations. You can also text the word HELP to 214-977-6028. We'll send you a link to all the appropriate locations.